The Salford side, Gary Broadbent, the new full-back, Sini, Naylor, McAvoy, Rogers, Blakely and Watson. And up front it's Platt, Edwards and Eccles, Forber, Faimilo and Hume. And the bench occupied by Randall, Martin, Cervello and Southern, the coach Andy Gregory. Now Wigan, Robinson is the full-back, Johnson, Connolly, Radlinski, Cardis, Smith and Murdoch. Forwards O'Connor, Cassidy, Holgate, Horton and Talek. Andrew Farrell is the loose forward, and coach Eric Hughes has Cowie, Murray, Wright and Hanson on the bench. Match referee is Russell Smith, and Wigan in their change strip. They tonight are in blue and white. They will attack from right to left as we watch against the Salford Red Devils. Russell Smith blows the whistle. Andy Farrell gets us underway. And it's Salford against Wigan here at the Willows. Essini Faimilo with the first drive up into the chest of Talek, but three others close in and bring big Faimilo to the ground. Now David Hume, the Salford loose forward, a major rival of Wigan over the years, when his witness days. Paul Forber, halted by the challenge from Mick Cassidy.
Good defence by Cassidy, because they know that Forber, he really is a danger man, especially when he runs out wide in the centres.
This now is Cliff Eccles. Had a fine season so far, Eccles, the prop forward. Young Ian Watson, 20-year-old Welsh international. Grubber kicks it through. Bounces kindly into the arms of Jason Robinson. Whirring two, but playing at full back. 2 tries against Salford in the last meeting at Central Park in October 1994. That's an unfair challenge though. McAvoy picked out. Penalty to Wigan.
Well, he wasted all that effort. It was a great kick and chase by Salford. And you can see that Platt had a second attempt, so did McAvoy. Keeping a keen eye on the things out there by the referee Russell Smith, and rightly so. We really do want an open game tonight.
So Wigan in possession, and they claimed their best win of the season, 44 points to 10 against Oldham last Sunday. It meant the end of the road for the Oldham coach, the former Wigan favourite Andy Goodway. And a head-high shot. Andy Farrell not impressed. David Hume said it went off the shoulder.
Well, when your arm's in front, you can't see the shoulder. It went right over the top. Hume did not miss. Swinging right arm, and Farrell would have felt that. Pretty fortunate, David Hume.
Terry O'Connor back on the ground. He graced here at the Willows. That's the first tackle. Cassidy is the dummy half. This is Murdoch. The runner is Holgate. Hall to the ground. That was a great tackle by Scott Naylor. He closed in on him on the back.
That definitely was on the shoulder. That was okay.
Smith running the angles. This is Horton. Great strength from Horton. The second rower. He's so close. Just held up short of the line. This is great Wigan pressure, but the ball comes back and the referee says play on. Salford escape.
Tony Smith couldn't take the football. That was a late flop by Farrell. You can see that the big second rower Simon Horton, we mentioned before the game what strength he has, but it was great cover defence. But Tony Smith made a real meal of that.
David Hume smiling at the challenge from Gail Talek, and smiling because he's got the penalty for a head-high swinging arm by the Frenchman.
Frenchman did not miss either. Well, it was Hume that hit Farrell and is on the return, and I think you can see Farrell just giving him a little bit of a tap there too. It's all square in that department. We said it was going to be rough, and they're not going to let us down.
Andy Platt, formerly a real Wigan warrior, straight into the shoulder of Holgate, grounded midway inside the Wigan half of the field. They switched the direction of the attack. This is Forber. Forber, great strength. He really is enjoying an Indian summer to his career. Blakely now into the arms of Hume. Hume short to Naylor. Tries for Scott Naylor in 4 of the last 6. Now this is Hume again, seen plenty of the action early on here. Wrestled to the ground by Radlinski. Inside the red zone here though. Last tackle, and it's Watson who will hoist a high kick. It's gone straight up in the air though. Watson's after it himself. Bounces and bounces back into the arms of Talek.
Well, at all at sea there, it was a beautiful kick from Watson. And it was anybody's, but the Frenchman came up with the football. Good tactics by the Salford Reds, getting the ball high, putting the pressure on Jason Robinson early.
Darryl Cardiff plays the ball to Mick Cassidy, and Cassidy makes some good yards straight up the middle. Robinson has scampered in to be the dummy half. Murdoch on the diagonal run, and he finds Farrell. Farrell taking on Eccles.
Cassidy limping in the background. Could have twisted the ankle in that last affair.
Tony Smith to O'Connor. O'Connor is tackled well by Nathan McAvoy. Here's Murdoch. Murdoch to Horton. Stern Salford defence. Last tackle. Still Wigan midway inside the Salford half of the field. Good deep kick this from Andy Farrell. Tester for young Broadbent. Broadbent, 20 years old, new signing from Widnes Academy International, deals with it brilliantly.
Took it very well indeed, just a little bit too deep perhaps, but Andy Johnson was coming through pretty big and strong. Good run by Fatasini.
Now here's Darren Rodgers playing tonight in a more accustomed position for him on the wing. We saw him last time we were here against Paris Saint-Germain at full-back. Wasn't too happy at full-back, but he's fine on the wing. Rodgers, 3 tries so far in Super League.
You can see there that the Wigan defence moving up extremely quickly.
Lovely run from Naylor. Good strong run from the tall centre. 2 tries against Wigan in the cup win here last year. Edwards into the arms of Platt. This is Eccles. Eccles still managed to make about 3 or 4 more metres before he takes the tackle from O'Connor. The kick through was by Watson, but it was well picked up on that occasion by Johnson.
It was a poor kick by Watson, straight into the face of Andy Johnson at all the time in the world.
Robinson tackled by Andy Platt. Cassidy seems to have run that injury off. Murdoch to Horton. Horton tackled by a combination of Hume and Naylor. Here's O'Connor again, met by Platt and Peter Edwards.
Referee Russell Smith having a bit of a problem trying to get them back to full 10. They're very eager. You can see from that wide shot how quick the Salford defence are moving up out wide.
Keen defence from Salford at the moment. 6.5 minutes gone. Robinson again. Such a tricky jack-in-the-box player, Robinson. And so dangerous when he runs from deep at full-back. Murdoch kicks over the top. Broadbent scoots across to pick up near his own line. The Wigan wall has arrived, but Broadbent does well before he's tackled by Craig Murdoch.
Good work there by the little half-back Murdoch. Kick and chase was excellent.
Fatasini tried to drill a hole through Holgate and Cassidy, a hole that wasn't there. Forber now tries to do the same.
Pretty tough out there. The forwards really are mixing it. They're getting involved. No love lost between these two sides.
Well, Wigan probably think they have a score to settle after that cup exit. Nobody on the Wigan side wanted to be in the team that lost out on the road to Wembley for the first time in 8 years. And Salford came up with a wonderful win. That's a lovely ball to Hume from Naylor, and Hume is dancing away, still there. Edwards for the line, tries to brush off one tackle, the ball comes back to Naylor, and he's held up just short. Well, that was a certain try that was wasted there by Salford, but credit Wigan for the defence. Long ball out wide, this is McAvoy out to Rodgers, try for Rodgers. They get it in the end in the corner, and look at the face on Rodgers. He believed also that Salford had bombed the chance. Rodgers, 4th try in Super League.
What a tremendous team effort. Blakely run from dummy half. We mentioned how quick he is off that mark. It's a beautiful pass though by Scott Naylor. Hume, we mentioned the ability to back up the man with a football. Edwards knew he couldn't make it. He threw a speculative pass. It came up nice. And look at the big fella, couldn't go through Naylor. And from the play, the ball. Long ball out wide. McAvoy. Darren Rodgers has set the stadium alight. What a tremendous try. They will not come any better than this. Blakely, the man who started it, maybe not the best pass. It was intended there for the drop forward, but they couldn't get to it. McAvoy did so well. Committed the tackler. Open run. Rodgers.
So Darren Rogers with the try, and now Steve Blakely with the conversion attempt. He swept it towards the posts, but in front of the posts, and no conversion. The leading point scorer for each of the past 4 seasons, Steve Blakely, misses with his first kick.
See how the defender comes out. They expect Forber to get to it, but I can assure you when it comes out, there was always going to have the overlap there. Johnson came out far too early. Overlap. Beautiful try. They don't come much better than that.
Darren Rogers, his 50th appearance for Salford. 2 tries against Paris Saint-Germain on Easter Monday. A former academy international, really is back to the wing where he made his name at Dewsbury in the lower divisions, and he certainly has made his name here tonight for Andy Gregory, the Salford coach, formerly of course the wonderful Wigan halfback. Speaking to him last night on the eve of this match, and he felt that his team were up for the challenge of Wigan. He said they will be all right, having seen his team's wonderful opening to Super League derailed by victories for St Helens and London last week. That's Andy Farrell taking Wigan to the halfway line. 10 minutes gone. First blood to Salford. Murdoch. Horton. Good strong run from Horton, attracting 3 defenders to him on every time he gets the ball. Last tackle here for Wigan. Murdoch will hoist the bomb. Now this is a tester for Broadbent. He's up to it. He's up to it again.
Tremendous take there. Look at that. See how he brought up the left knee to protect himself. Wonderful stuff. They're running hard to the Salford Reds.
Fatasini has drifted in off the wing, looking for hard work up the middle. Edwards was the dummy half. Here's Eccles again.
Gets through so much work, doesn't he, the prop forward, Cliff Eccles.
So does this fellow, Andy Platt. Wigan know all about him. Andy Platt. Exactly 200 appearances for Wigan over 6 years. Faimilo breaks one tackle. Great run from Faimilo. Tried to get the pass away, and they just couldn't pick that ball up. Edwards was so close to picking it up off his bootlaces.
Just a panic pass by Faimilo, but what a terrible attempt by Mick Cassidy. Very rare you see Cassidy missing a tackle like that. He was limping a few moments earlier. Interference, well, again. They are applying the pressure. There's a man that made the big break and then gives away a silly penalty. Interference there, trying to knock the ball away. O'Connor couldn't get on with the game of playing. This is the break from Faimilo, but why on earth he panicked to get the ball there? Not the best to Edwards. Chance gone begging. He really should have gone to ground with that, made short of possession.
Wigan then into this match on the back of 8 tries at Oldham last Sunday. They've won 3 consecutive league games here, the most recent in March 1995 by 42 points to 8. But look at that scoreline after 12 minutes here now. Perhaps an indication of the changing wind in Super League. Farrell, though, what a competitor this young man is.
Good defence by Salford. They are not being sucked in with the dummy runners from Wigan. What they're doing is letting the dummy runner go on his own. They're not being sucked into it.
Murdoch plays the ball to Cassidy. This now is Horton, who is fed by Smith, and Smith in support. Ball out wide to Radlinski. Radlinski then dumps it into the arms of Cardis. Cardis loses his footing, and that's a certain try gone begging, because Wigan had an overlap.
Well, what a time to come up with a nodding.
Farrell. They still have men out wide, Wigan, but that's not the best pass from Farrell, and Gail Tallick couldn't take it in, and he looks at his captain and says, what sort of pass was that?
See how he drew the man Blakely, but it was not a good one, as Eddie mentioned. Well, chances have gone begging both ends now, but what on earth? The centre, Chris Radlinski, lost possession, head-butted the ball at a time when they had the overlap. Cardis surely would have gone in easy.
Well, ball security is so important in modern-day rugby league, and it has been raining quite steadily here in Manchester all through the day. And Eric Hughes, on the right-hand side of your screen, stood at the back of the main stand here at the Willows, just watching as his team struggled to come to terms with this very lively Salford side in the opening quarter of an hour here. Kick was too deep from Blakely.
Not happy with it, the Salford Red skipper, and rightly so. Well, a couple of times Salford have penned Wigan back in their own quarter, and they've given away silly penalties. They've got to get their discipline right.
O'Connor. Wigan 7th in the table. Salford 5th coming into this match. Salford ahead by 4 points to 0. Horton now with the run for Wigan. He's causing havoc for Wigan every time he goes forward with the ball in his arm. Cassidy is the dummy half. Murdoch waits and gets. Then it's on to Farrell. Robinson was the dummy runner. Talek came on the inside. Talek tries to keep the ball alive, but it went forward, and Salford have it back anyway.
It was a knock-on from Blakely, but they'll take the forward pass first. Well, we discussed about the panic football from both sides, and again...
Oh, he's given Wigan head and feet, Steve-o.
How on earth can he do that?
Well, the pass was forward, there's no doubt, but he's got Salford for the knock-on.
All I can think of is that Russell Smith must have been unsighted. Surely he could see this. Well, he obviously thought that the ball had gone backwards. But on that replay, you look forward for mine.
Well, it hit the ground and then went forwards, didn't it? It was in the air, it was a line ball, but then it rolled forward off the ground. Well, Wigan, maybe they can turn that little piece of good fortune into points. O'Connor, though, has to take the tackle. Cassidy's the dummy half. Tony Smith is the runner, and then he waits for Horton to come through. Horton back to Tony Smith, keeping the ball alive brilliantly, but Naylor was very alert then, along with David Hume. David Hume so important to this Salford side. This is Holgate now. Holgate gives it to Talek, and Talek, that's the second time he's put the ball down.
Not having the best of games, the Frenchman was looking for the runner, and Talek just came a little bit too wide. Well, that's his average none. He's done 2 already. Deficit pretty bad. But I must say, I'm a bit surprised that Wigan are not going to change Mick Cassidy, because we have not seen a run from dummy half. Yet Salford have run from dummy half on 3 occasions. You've got to work the defence, and I'm afraid Wigan are not doing that.
And looks like there's a penalty here for Salford now. There's a swinging arm as
Tony
Mamilo
Smith
went in. There. Little short one from Smith.
Doesn't matter how short though. I thought the first one was pretty high. Clunch. Missed. I think he hit Robinson. Well spotted though by Russell Smith. Well, for Milo's holding the head until he got the penalty, and all of a sudden he was all right.
He looks like he's got something in his eye for Milo. But Steve-o, just to pick up that point you made about Cassidy tackling Cliff Eccles, Martin Hall, the #1 hooker for Wigan for so long, currently out of favour at Central Park.
Well, they've got to sort it out, because you need someone running from the dummy half position. We've seen already that Peter Edwards is becoming a handful. Oh, Farrell went swinging over the top. They just ducked underneath. Blakely was lucky, just ducked.
This is Watson, and now Faimilo. The mud out of the eye for Faimilo. Good support from Edwards. This now is Broadbent, and he was smothered, wasn't he, by Simon Horton. Edwards into the arms of Blakely. He fires out the long pass out wide. Well picked up again. Naylor tries to keep the ball alive, but it was risky business.
Well, they've got away with it. That looked a knock-on for mine too.
It did. Hume to Forber. Forber spreads the play to Platt. There's only Sini out wide, and here he is. Sini, still running Sini. He's so strong. Now chips one over the top. Connolly's after it. Oh, Radlinski's dropped it.
That's got to be offside.
It is, but it's offside against Salford's man. Penalty Wigan.
Well, Sini got the right option, kick over the top, and obviously Darren Rodgers was just in front. The eagle eye of the referee, and you could see that Rodgers was just stood in front, but he was not in any way interfering with the play. Well, that's an unusual one.
Rodgers is the man out here, way out on this near side of the screen from the high shot, the Salford winger. Well,
obviously he thought as soon as he got himself involved in the play.
And the referee has given that as a forward pass, the Talek pass to Murdoch, and I'm not so sure. There's a huge scream from the crowd.
I think he's right. And there's another player that really has to lift his game, Craig Murdoch. At the moment, all he's doing is just keeping the ball alive. On the replay there, just went forward.
So Salford have it back. They lead by 4 points to 0, and here's Essini Faimilo. Bounces off one tackle, and look, he's taking 2 with him. There's a tremendous run again from Faimilo. Edwards into the arms of Platt. Right up the middle goes Andy Platt.
We spoke about the forwards taking them on, and they're doing just that. Salford are creating a good work in the forwards and then getting it out wide. Wigan look all at sea. It's only scrambling defence that's keeping Salford out.
Edwards to Blakely. Blakely to Forber. Good defence that time from Murdoch and O'Connor. They're 9 metres short of the line on the last tackle. This is Watson. I wonder if he fancies a one-pointer. No, he slides it through for Blakely. Ball bounces for Connolly, and Connolly has stepped out of the field of play. Wigan will drop out from underneath their own post.
Beautiful pressure play there. The option of the kick, the chases through. Oh, wonderful stuff. That really was good play. Good job that Gary Connolly had got back quickly. What a live wire, eh? The Salford skipper.
Oh, not a great dropout from Farrell, straight into the arms of Forber, 20 metres out. Andy Farrell under pressure, as is all this Wigan defence, defending the run from Andy Platt. Here's Cliff Eccles now. Again, 5 metres short of the line. What a great drive that was from Eccles.
Driving forward, will they do the dummy runners? Switch of play.
Naylor was the call from Blakely. Blakely stays there and supports the attack. Blakely again. McAvoy plays the ball to Edwards. Edwards into the arms of Naylor. Naylor sees a gap and goes for it. Good strong run again from Naylor. Salford so close to their second try. Last tackle. Eccles went without the ball. It'll be the turnover on the last.
Switch of play there. It was a big gamble by Craig Murdoch, who came up on the outside. They thought they were going for the 1 point to Salford, but Eccles couldn't bring it in. Well, there's still only 4 points adrift Wigan, when really they could have been anything up to 18 points down. They've had their chances, Salford. As yet, they've only posted 1 try. They could rue the day.
Well, it's a great contest between these two. Salford Reds ahead against Wigan, the former champions, who have fallen a little from grace this year, but all the others are catching up. And what a match we have for you on Sunday here on Sky Sports 1. London Broncos against Leeds Rhinos. We're at the Stoop from 6:30. Third in the table, plays 5th. That will be a tremendous match. And I rather fancy, Steve-O, that the Stoop could post its first house full notice of the season.
It should do. Both sides are absolutely filled with stars. Leeds are really firing on all cylinders.
As are Salford with Sini. Sini just is held by Tony Smith. Quick play the ball though, and Wigan are in trouble defending this attack from Hume.
Quick play the ball. They've caught this Wigan defence. Oh, it looks as though they're set up now.
Andy Platt takes that tackle. 10 metres inside the Salford half. This is Watson. Watson, Milo was the dummy runner. Naylor. Looping pass into the arms of Eccles. Nobody really wants it at the moment. This is Edwards. Edwards back to Forber. He'll have it. He'll take them on.
Swinging arm from Terry O'Connor. Forber looked at the referee, Smith.
Salford making all the clean breaks. 6-2. Dab through by Edwards. Brilliant. Just didn't pop up kindly for him, but Talek did well. He read the situation. Now Watson. Watson, the littlest man on the field, going for the line. On the last tackle, he went for the power play, the Welsh international. It's the turnover.
Beautiful play by Edwards. We talk about the hookers taking the runs from the dummy half. We've not seen any from the Wigan player Mick Cassidy, apart from one half-hearted run. I get the impression perhaps that Mick Cassidy still is struggling with that sprain. I think he sprained his ankle early in this match.
Wigan in possession then with Stephen Holgate, one of the new signings during the course of the winter from Workington. They are certainly in a transitional stage, but sources do say, Steve-O, that Dennis Betts is signed and sealed and is on a 3-year deal and will be back at Wigan next year.
Well, they feel pretty confident, and so do Leeds. They're both saying they've got him. Maybe they'll split him down the middle.
Well, maybe so, but my information is he's coming to Wigan.
Either way, he won't split the money down the middle.
Rodgers picks up the kick downfield. Good tackle. Great tackle from Neil Cowie, just on the field, as you see. Now, Broadbent. Cowie again getting through early work after his stint on the bench, waiting to be introduced. And there he is again, tackling David Hume. That's 3 great tackles in a row from Neil Cowie. Watson. to Blakely. Blakely up the middle. Pops the ball up to Familo. This is great stuff from Salford. Naylor, the ball was stolen, but it's one-on-one. It's perfectly legal. Play on. Connolly pinched it.
Gary Connolly saved the day, not only with the tackle, but he took the ball off Naylor.
But was it a knock-on?
I think he knocked it backwards. He was dragging it towards his own feet. This is a good tackle. It had to be, and see how he scrapped it. Went backwards.
This is Cowie now. Cowie has been brought on to add a little bit of punch to the Wigan pack, and here's someone who never takes a backward step. O'Connor hands the ball on to Murdoch. Scrambling defence from Peter Edwards. Edwards just lying on long enough to allow the Salford defence to regather. Farrell taking on Watson. Biggest against littlest. Last tackle for Wigan. Smith is running it. Little dab over the top now. Broadbent there. He's added such composure and such confidence to this Salford defence, Gary Broadbent, since he's arrived from Widnes.
Great positioning there by Gary Broadbent, the full-back. Super stuff, but a nice little kick through from Tony Smith. That's where we see a little run from the dummy half. It tests the defence.
Now Hume, he has got through a ton of work, David Hume, in this first half. He's 33, but he is playing with a new zest of life, as is this fellow Platt. Anxious moments for Eric Hughes, Wigan coach. Naylor was just trailing on the inside then, called for the pass and took it, then took the tackle from Cassidy and Horton. Here now is Watson, left boot, drilling it towards the corner. Cardis lets it go. Referee will put the scrum down.
Good thing about Watson, settling things down, made sure that it made the whitewash. But I must say, full credit to this Wigan scrambling defence. They've only allowed one try, and Salford really should have posted more than that single try from Rodgers. They've had so many opportunities. You must take your chances.
Radlinski. Good tackle from Broadbent. Broadbent had come up to support the Salford team at the scrum. Now he's got to get back because Connolly's attacking down that right wing. Great run from Connolly. Good tackle though from Rodgers. And he tosses the ball back on the inside. It's play on. This is Murdoch. Murdoch almost got away from Broadbent. Doesn't get away from Nathan McAvoy.
Well, why on earth did Steve Blakely try to kick that ball when he should have dropped on it?
This is O'Connor. Held by Forber and then clattered by Faimilo and Broadbent. Cassidy the dummy half. Murdoch. Wigan on a roll. Smith to Farrell. Farrell's got men out wide. He goes back the other way though. Ball goes to ground. Momentum's lost momentarily. Robinson.
He'd come far too early at Tony Smith. They do that so often. The big fella Andrew Farrell coming out wide and Smith on the inside.
Cowie bounces off one, gives it to Smith. Smith turns and spins in the tackle. Have Salford got it back?
Should be back to 6.
Referee's going to say there's a knock-on here.
It was a knock-on.
Wigan's head and feed.
And that's right. It came off a Salford player. The referee, Russell Smith. This is the break by Connolly. Rodgers did well. He offered him on the outside, took him on there. Connolly thought, I better get rid of this football before I hit the whitewash. He did. But why on earth Blakely did not go onto this ball? He had the ball away, but did his arm touch it?
It did. His elbow carrying the ball touched the ground and then he released it. Split decisions that could have cost Salford, and they have with Cardis. Well, Cardis gets the try from the base of the scrum. Daryl Cardis, they're booing round this ground. But over on that far side, Gary Connolly was grounded and his elbow touched the floor. He was held by Darren Rodgers. It should have been a penalty the other way. Here it is.
This is the incident there. There it is. He's held. Arm touches the ground, so that should have been a completed tackle. That should have been a penalty to Salford. And from this, good work though on the blind side. Let's not take anything away. Farrell peels away, picks up the ball. Beautiful play by Murdoch, sends in Cardis. No one at home. See how Watson had moved in, had to take Farrell. Nothing that Fatassini could have done about that. That was a well-worked try. He really is in fine form, the loose forward Andrew Farrell. Murdoch read it well, and so did this kid. Finished off good.
So Daryl Cardis gets the try, and the young man who was impressed in reserve grade really did earn his place in the starting lineup with 2 tries and 3 goals in the Alliance Cup final win. That's the reserve grade cup final, and now he's come up with his first try in Super League. But Andy Farrell now is going to try and improve with this conversion. So breezy, blustery night, not the ideal one for kickers. One on each side has been missed now, the conversions.
See how Farrell sucks in Watson. Murdoch then goes and sucks in Sini. Ball out wide. Creates the overlap. That is a superb try. Well, they must be wondering, Salford, what on earth they've had to do. So many opportunities. They should have been in a commanding lead.
Daryl Cardis, the try scorer, is 18 years of age, in an academy international, as is this fellow, Gary Broadbent. Sini Milo is a New Zealand international. Stars littering this ground tonight, and coming up with a contest that is worthy of the Super League name. It's a great game. Eccles once more, the ever-willing worker up front for Salford. Cliff Eccles, ever present for the past 3 seasons. What a record for a prop forward that is. Half an hour gone, all square, 4 points apiece. Enjoying this, Steve-O?
Well, we knew it was going to be tough out there. Oh, bad mistake. Loss of concentration. All that effort that they put in for the first 30 minutes, and you could see that even the experienced man, Andy Platt, took his eyes off the football. He knew that Neil Cowie was zoning in. It's the first of the game, but it's a costly one. Look at the scoreline, 4-all. It really has been all Salford in attack. Only one try to come from him. Oh,
Connolly spinning and twisting and turning, but Rodgers held on to him as he did over on that far side before. That was Robinson who releases Cowie, and Cowie picks up pace. Rodgers is there, Cowie's dropped it, misses the kick. Broadbent picks up the pieces.
well, Cowie tried a little grubber kick through, but just missed it. It was an air swipe, but Nathan McAvoy is down in the background.
Offside against Wigan. Penalty to Salford. Andy Farrell complaining. Russell Smith having none of it.
Well, again, we see a side that's done very well in their defence and then just give it away. Made no effort to get back the full 10. 3 or 4 different players referee Russell Smith got there. But when Gary Connolly was carrying that football, as he fended off the centre, Nathan McAvoy, I think he caught him fair and square on the nose.
Good to see Gary Connolly just drifting out of your picture there, number 4. Good to see him back to almost full fitness. He's playing with a chronic knee injury, apparently. It's a legacy of playing back-to-back rugby league and rugby union during the course of 96-97. But he's bounced back with a vengeance. 2 tries last week, and he's looked sharp again here tonight so far. This, meanwhile, is Naylor. Bounces away from one, then goes for the little gap that really wasn't there and clutches the nose. He got a little bang on the noggin as well. Edwards.
Good little run from the hooker yet again.
Last tackle for Salford.
But the zing in the running seems to have gone out of Salford at the moment.
Talek did well then. Just trapped the ball with his foot and picked it up under pressure from Rodgers.
It's a good option, though, by the winger, Rodgers. Realised that this Wigan's defence has been pretty solid.
Cowie drops the ball, it went backwards, and Cassidy. I just wondered for a moment then whether he was offside, Mick Cassidy. Comes off Robinson, he is.
He is offside. Well, one-on-one, trying to get the ball. You can see that.
I think he's given Wigan head and feed.
Well, I don't know why on earth that. It's got to be in an offside situation because it comes off Tony Smith's leg and he touches it. He must be offside. Well, things not going the Salford Reds way at the moment. Wigan will be pretty happy about that.
Cardis, try scorer. Paul down. Forber was there. Eccles was there. Cassidy. He hasn't really run from dummy half yet, as you say. Maybe that's why this Salford defence is so resolute. Tony Smith felt the full weight of those challenges. Here's Cowie.
Well, the thing is, if you don't run away from dummy half, you don't make work for the markers. And that's how you tire a team out. You can see that Salford are quite happy just to put one marker in, and the second marker stands back 5 metres. You've got to make them work.
Connolly into the arms of O'Connor. Hated that day here. It's the last tackle. the day here when Wigan lost in the Cup. Terry O'Connor absolutely wants to put that to the back of his mind tonight with a victory.
But he wouldn't have been happy with that because they lost the plot. It wasn't a power play that they intended. They just lost the count.
Power play, Salford have tried it 3 times, Wigan just the once. That one from O'Connor that went sadly out of kilter. This is Faimilo. Well, Faimilo here is playing again like another man with a new lease of life. They call this Salford pack, Steve, Dad's Army, a bit unfairly because there's a lot of experienced heads. And Faimilo and Eccles, he's 29, Andy Platt 33. That's why they've got the Dad's Army tag, and this fellow as well, David Hume. But they're playing so well. Look at that, McAvoy. And McAvoy gets the ball off the ground. The referee's pulled them back for forward.
I think he's right too.
It's, Steve-O, it's hair's breadth, these decisions.
But you can see that Watson has gone, oh, it's 50-50, but very close indeed. Yeah, that looks forward. Only just though. Big opportunity, the big centre, Nathan McAvoy. Yeah, well spotted by Russell Smith. Certainly on the ball. But again, we see that the Reds squander an opportunity when they've made the burst.
Here's Andy Farrell, running again from deep. Trying to get out of the challenge from McAvoy, couldn't do so. Johnson. Rogers has done a good job out there on that touchline. Had a bit of a pop at him, Steve-O, last time we were here. There he is again, he's won the ball back off O'Connor. He was playing full-back though, he never is a full-back when we saw him against Paris Saint-Germain. He's a different player tonight.
Well, he admitted he didn't want to play in the full-back role, even though he's a very tall man. He looked awfully unsafe underneath the bombs. But he's a great talent.
So is this fella, Fatasini, the Western Samoan. He gets the ball away to Broadbent. Broadbent's tackled by Connolly, but not before he gets the ball away to Forber. Forber then to Rogers once more. Rogers takes the tackle, and he had to from Farrell.
That should have been a penalty. Farrell held him down twice.
Blakely through a gap. Ball back on the inside to Edwards. Edwards to Watson. He keeps hold of it somehow. This is McAvoy. That's 3 tackles gone for Salford. 31 metres they've made, more metres here from Watson, and Watson takes them to within a couple of metres of the line. Hume out wide it goes. No, Hume hangs on and takes the tackle himself, and he's so close. His head's on the line, but the ball isn't.
Surely a kick from Blakely, no.
Watson across the face of play, it was a nothing kick, and he knows it too.
Wasted effort. You could see that the players didn't realise that kick was going through. Turns around in total disgust, and rightly so. Blakely was streaming for the ball out wide. I'm afraid his half-back partner obviously didn't take any notice.
Radlinski through a half gap, well tackled by Faimilo.
Well, this is where Wigan are so dangerous, just before the half-time break.
Yes, the opposition thinks they've got them boxed up, but then Wigan suddenly snap in the last 2 minutes and come up with a crucial try. Can Salford hang on?
Keep your eye out for Andrew Farrell out wide.
There he is, Farrell. Showed it to Horton, waited for the runner. Took the tackle from Watson, who has got to do a ton of work, the little half-back. This is Tony Smith. Smith attacking them up the middle. Last tackle here, they've made 60 metres. What have Wigan got up their sleeves? Farrell will hoist the kick diagonally. There's a chase on here. Murdoch's after it. Broadbent took him. The ball bounced back and Connolly stole it. It comes free. Referee says knock on.
Good work by the halfback Craig Murdoch. Went through and you can see Connolly ripped it out. Eccles pushed it back. This will be interesting, and he's given Wigan head and feet.
Again.
Well, the crowd are going bananas here, and rightly so. I didn't think that was a knock on.
Farrell, remember from the scrum, base not long ago, Wigan scored. This is Tony Smith, and again with a minute and a half to go, Wigan once more examining the opposition's defence. Cowie with a barnstorming run. Just held back, well, I say just, by 3 Salford defenders. Cassidy into the arms of Farrell. They're loaded up out wide, they go the other way. That's a knock on against Smith. And Salford breathe a sigh of relief.
I can't understand why the standoff Tony Smith is standing still. You should be running into the ball and standing way back. His timing has been all at sea. That's the second occasion that has come back on the inside of Andrew Farrell. The idea is good, but the execution is awful.
Scott Naylor, now Salford, I'm sure, will just try and play out this last minute of the first half. Sini taking on Radlinski, hauled down by Horton as well. And this is Milo. Well, what an impact, number 8 there, Neil Cowie has had on this match. 19 tackles per match on average. He's only come on midway through this first half. He's up to 10 already. Big effort from Neil Cowie.
That's a reason why the coach Eric Hughes sent him out there, trying to put a bit of spark back into this side.
Talking of spark, here's Blakely. Blakely looks for support, it's there with Naylor. Lovely hands to Sini, and Sini takes a great tackle from Radlinski. Quick play the ball, Edwards, Blakely. Blakely into the arms of Watson. Watson long ball to Forber, further out wide to McAvoy. McAvoy.
What a great tackle.
Fabulous.
Gary Connolly, ball and all, tremendous stuff. And he'd be disappointed with that. All that pressure again. 4 or 5 times in this first half. There's a tackle from Connolly. Crunch, McAvoy hits the deck.
And then Wigan get the penalty because Salford wouldn't give them the ball back quick enough. Eric Hughes, he will be anxious to get into the dressing room, I'm sure, with his Wigan team, and he can do exactly that now. But what a first half that was. Darren Rogers, who got the first try after only 8 minutes. Salford off to a flyer. Then young Darryl Cardis came back and hit back for Wigan with the second try of the match. Mick Cassidy not been running very much from the dummy half position, maybe carrying an injury, but Cardis, the young 18-year-old, it's his try that has Wigan level pegging at half-time. Big effort from Dave Hume and this Salford team though. But this was the moment when Salford got off to the flying start, and we will have the thoughts of the man when we return. Stay with us on Sky Sports.
He is the leader of the Brit Pack. Soaked in arrogance, undefeated. He has taunted 25 challenges and sent 23 crashing to the canvas. His 2 world titles aren't enough. He wants more.
Oh, he's got it!
But first he must dispose of world #1 contender, Billy Hardy. And then Prince Nassim will be ready to conquer the world. The prince that would be king. A sensational night of British boxing next Saturday the 3rd of May on Sky Box Office. Sky subscribers can see the BritPack exclusively live by calling the automated ordering number on 0990 800 800. Book early to receive a discount. Cable viewers contact your local operator.
Page 4W printer, precision 600 DPI laser quality print, and it's smaller than a sheet of A4 paper.
Basta che film.
BT have doubled the number of people you can choose to be in your friends and family circle. So now you could make twice the savings. If you still haven't joined, you must be either fantastically wealthy, slightly bonkers, terribly lazy, or from another planet. If you are none of the above and you'd like to save 10% on your favorite 10 numbers, call 0800 05 55 55 now.
Every time you start your car from cold, it takes a while for your engine to get full protection from its oil, metal, grinds against metal. The damage is permanent. Castrol GTX Magnatech works differently. Unique polarised molecules cling like a magnet, dramatically reducing engine wear. For protection from the moment you turn the key, ask your garage for Castrol GTX Magnatech.
There's another big night of live boxing coming up on Sky Box Office next Saturday night. 3 world title fights with Prince Nazim Hamed topping the bill. For more information on this pay-per-view event, call the special information line 0990 800 888. That's 0990 800 888, and calls taken right now. But we have got quite a match on in Super League here on Sky Sports 1. At half-time, it couldn't be tighter. 4 points apiece, 1 try each. Rogers for Salford and Cardis for the Wigan Warriors. Fantastic game, though. And this crowd here at the Willows being royally entertained by this match. And I must say that every time on a Friday night we seem to drop on a really good game, and this one is no exception. It's a super match. Steve Hampson, once of Salford, once of Wigan, of course, played for both clubs. I know you're enjoying it as much as us.
Absolutely tremendous. It's what we expected. 4-all half-time. I mean, it's a tremendous battle up front, especially with the forwards. I know we mentioned Platt and Eccles early on, but my man of the match up to now is definitely Assini for Milo. He's having a tremendous match, and I think what he needs is somebody to back him up, because he's waiting and he's trying to offload, but there's nobody there to support him. So I'm sure that if they get support second half off Assini for Milo, it'll go very well.
Well, this Salford pack are rolling back the years, aren't they? There's David Hume, who's, well, he's not quite as old as you, but he's getting on a bit.
Well, you're always on about the old lads, but you need the older heads up front especially. But yeah, I mean, the guys are doing tremendous. You've got Simon Alton, all the young lads on the Wigan side, but they're just not producing it at the moment. I mean, Neil Cowie came on as substitute, and Neil's done a tremendous job. I think he's got a bit of a point to prove against Andy Platt, because I think Andy used to banter him a bit when he was at Wigan, but he's been absolutely tremendous up to now.
Steve-o, you can see why this Salford team have gone 19 months here without a defeat, and why they're, what, is it 21 games now unbeaten? 21 and a half now.
Well, they're playing with a lot of confidence, and it's, we mentioned before the game that keep your eye out for Steve Blakely, and it was Steve Blakely that made the first real impact. Good run from dummy half. It really was tremendous. We said he was explosive, and here he is. Look at him get through. And it was from this wonderful display from the Salford Reds. They really did back up. Look at this, David Hume running like, well, 16, 17-year-old. Good work again by Edwards. Peter Edwards having a fine game as well. We mentioned the fact that they'd keep that support play. They went pretty close there, Scott Naylor, and from the play the ball out wide. Look at the man again there. Wasn't the best pass. You could see that they'd gone for Forber. It was sucked in. There was nothing they could do about that. You could see that Andy Johnson was well and truly sucked in off the wing. And once McAvoy fed the ball, commits the man to the tackle. This really was all about making the impact. Now, here's the mistake. Ball out wide, off the top there. Well, a little bit of Liverpool style there, but I'm afraid they had the big chance. And look at that, the slip there from Cardis. It was a chance, one of the few. But this will be quite controversial. Connolly makes one of the clean breaks, only a 4 from Wigan in this first half. Rogers does well, gives him the outside, gives him the option, knows that he got the touchline, but look at the ball carrying arm. That means that the man is tackled. And look how he skims it away. They got away from that, and from the resulting situation, this was sheer genius. Let's just stop it there. You can see how Watson's been sucked in there. Murdoch will run to Sini, and when you get to a position like that, creates the overlap. This was sheer class. But I don't think the Salford coach, Andy Gregory, will be happy with that at all, because Eddie, they made so many breaks in that first half. They should have scored at least 3 or maybe 4 tries. They had the opportunity, they applied the pressure, but I'm afraid their discipline let them down. And I'm sure that Gregory will be giving the rounds of the kitchen, because they've done all that work and then they give a silly penalty away. They are allowing Wigan off the hook.
But I just wonder whether half-time, Steve Hampson, has come at the wrong time for Salford. They would like to play the full 80 minutes without a break, wouldn't they? Because they're going so well.
Yeah, I'm sure they would. They've been on top for the first 40 minutes because they just, I think they've been sagging themselves up for a long time for this game because of what happened last year when they beat Wigan, and they want to do it again. Because I like to say, Wigan have been there for a long while and they just want to be defeated. Today's game has been absolutely tremendous. Everybody's been getting involved. Davy Hume, who's having another tremendous game, Peter Edwards, and I'm sure the next 40 minutes will be just as good.
Well, we hope so, certainly, and there's nothing to suggest that it won't be. But what will the two coaches be saying now? How can they win this match?
Well, it'll be very interesting because for me, I think the Salford forwards are just tiring a little bit, but they've got the backs, they've got a young set of backs, both teams have got young sets of backs, they're going to have to flirt it out. You've got Andrew Farrell running out wide at the moment, trying to pick off Tony Smith inside, and I think for me, it's going to happen. Tony Smith will get through one of the gaps, but then again, Salford are as good as, and they can do the same with Steve Blakely, just dodging and weaving, and like he did the first half, and they can score just as good.
Well, plenty of names there, plenty of personalities that Steve's mentioning. Has one of them caught your eye for the Man of the Match award tonight? You can have your say, of course, and get ready by the telephones during the course of the second half. We'll tell you when to phone that number. And you could be a winner with us on Super League Live. You have one of these mini TV sets to give away. We'll tell you when during the course of the second half. Well, who is going to be the man of the match? Faimilo, Blakely, well, you could go on. The list is endless because these two sides are producing a real feast for us here. It's Salford 4, Wigan 4 at half-time. Nothing to choose between the two. And the coaches, Eric Hughes and Andy Gregory, they are working overtime now to win it in the second half.
Unlike some wood stains, Cuprinol's 5-year wood stain lasts 5 whole years. Guaranteed. Cuprinol. No one does wood more good.
How was I? I felt very nervous. I think I got the AA insurance put over, and I'm sure I mentioned me car. But I don't think I got over how chuffed I was with the deal I got, you know. AA car insurance costs less than I thought.
Call direct on 0800 444 777.
It's about holding your head high, getting on with the business. The World Cup, France 98. Qualification, nothing less. Doing it for your country, taking the knocks, taking the praise, taking the points. It's about victory for England against Georgia. Our Green Flag International, Tuesday and Wednesday on Sky Sports 1.
Coming up here on Sky Sports 1 Saturday at 9 o'clock, European Middleweight Championship live and exclusive. Hassim Cherifi against Neville Brown. Sky Sports 1, 9 o'clock on Saturday. But right now on Sky Sports 1 we have Super League live and exclusive. Salford Reds against Wigan Warriors. What a match we have had in the first half. Can the two sides keep it going in the second 40? I'm sure they can. 4-all, Rogers and Cardis with the crucial tries. Some statistics from that first half. Important one is the score at the top. 8 penalties. Possession, Salford have enjoyed more of the match. They've run the ball on the last tackle 4 times compared to Wigan's once. And they've put some good kicks through this Wigan defence. And Steve-O, really, they should be ahead at half-time, Salford.
You can see the missed tackles there on the Wigan side. 10 runs from dummy half, 6 and 5. They caught up in that late in the first half. Clean break, 6. They really should have made more of it. They had the opportunities, Salford. It's going to be a very difficult opening 10 minutes for them. Sets complete at 14. That would have pleased the coach, Andy Gregory. But more metres gained by Salford.
For Darren Rogers, his try in the first half. After 8 minutes, the Academy International, former Academy International now, Darren Rogers is 22 years of age. As Blakely restarts then, we're 4-4, it's live and exclusive here at the Willows, and that ball has bounced back, and that was a real race. And I think Nathan McAvoy, I was going to say Nathan McAvoy's got it back. He has. Salford ball, says referee Russell Smith. Well, that is a big mistake in the opening minute. Here's Faimilo.
Well, very lackadaisical opening there by Wigan. You're not just going to get the possession by thinking about it. O'Connor, he came off his legs. It seemed to take an eternity to get his legs moving.
Salford on the charge then, start of this second half. Hume was just held. Seeley on his own. Seeley for the line. And held up by 3 forced Wigan defenders.
Beautiful work by the winger Seeley. Could see it was a quick play, the ball. Long ball out wide, they've got the numbers.
Blakely stopped, turned away from Cassidy, and he gets the pass to Broadbent. Broadbent ducks under the challenge from Cassidy, but can't get away from the Frenchman Gail Talek. Last tackle, here it is for Salford, and it's Blakely who dabs the ball through. He's chasing after it himself. Well watched by Robinson.
Beautiful positioning there by Robinson, the full-back, anticipating the kick through. He got himself and watched everything that Blakely was doing. The option was good, but perhaps they may have been better served with a high bomb. Well, it's rough and tough there, and there's a Wigan player down again. Been a lot of injuries during the game.
Wigan player will receive treatment while Andy Farrell goes on a run that's halted by Naylor and also Watson. Watson, the young halfback for Salford, has got through such a huge amount of work here. And it's Darryl Cardis who was injured. He's now trotting to regain his place on the wing. Talek with the run to the halfway. Eccles wrestles him to the floor and stole the ball one-on-one. Perfectly allowed. Great work from Eccles. Salford have the ball back by Milo.
Well, it's a fine line, isn't it, when a man is being tackled as to when it's completed. And you can see that Eccles just took it off him.
Well, his elbow wasn't on the deck.
While I'm sure the Frenchman was thinking about just getting up and playing the football. Good thinking by Eccles.
Blakely now. Watson misses out Eccles, Mickles out, misses out Platt, and finds Forber. Lend us your teeth, Steve-O.
Top or bottom?
Platt now. 20 metres short of the line. In the Wigan red zone with Blakely. Lovely skills from Blakely. And this now is Naylor. Oh, soccer skills! That's a try for Watson! Well, I tell you what, that was tremendous soccer skills, dribbling through, and then the ball was just side-footed through the Wigan defence, and Watson was first to react. Tremendous, no wonder the dancing at Salford. Watson scored under the posts.
Beautiful play. Power play by Blakely. Second kick. Back on the inside by Watson. Oh, but is he offside? Was he just in front? It'll be interesting to see. Blakely did everything correct. Second kick. Then you could see that Naylor put it through, but surely for mine, Ian Watson, he'll see clearer. The last kick. Well, he must have been a fraction offside. Well, what a contentious try this is, but let's not take anything away from the skill. Now then was Watson, it was a 50-50 there. You could see the referee, Russell Smith, was in a tremendous position to see that.
Well, Salford aren't complaining about that, and Blakely's added the extras, and the Salford Reds have a 10-4 advantage. Start of this second half, just what they wanted.
The low angle angle may give us a clearer indication. This is the first from Blakely, second, and then Naylor comes in. Oh, it's hard to say. 50-50, but fair credit to the referee, Russell Smith. He was in a wonderful position. He was stood at the side of the man who scored the try, Ian Watson.
Well, he's really grabbed his chance with both hands. Mark Lee is out injured. Ian Watson, the Welsh international, he started the last 8 now. And that's his 3rd try of 1997. That's a better gather of the kick-off by Connolly. And Connolly is tackled by Rogers. He gets up quickly, does Connolly, plays the ball. Talek was dummy half. O'Connor. Well, they're gritting their teeth, Salford, and really getting stuck in. And Wigan, everywhere they go this year, I think they're going to face challenges like this. Lovely run, though, from Horton. Horton gets the pass out wide to Radlinski. Radlinski is taken out then by Sini. Crunching tackle. Robinson does well to pick that ball off of his toes. Gets away then from Edwards. Such an elusive character, Jason Robinson.
Good defence, though. They moved it very quickly out wide. Not giving him much room to move around.
Here's the captain, Farrell. Oh, Stoney Smith went without the ball. Naylor swooped. He's only got Connolly to beat. I say only, if you beat Connolly, you need a try. You deserve a try. He didn't then, but Salford are rampant. Blakely to Edwards. Edwards to Rogers. Rogers takes it up the middle.
Well, another bad mistake by Tony Smith. The combination of Farrell and Smith can be so destructive. But on this stage in the game tonight, they really have dropped the ball on 3 occasions from the same move.
Watson to Hume. Hume short ball to Familo. Strength from Familo again. Radlinski and Horton. That's how close Salford Reds are. It's with Watson. Now Blakely, the captain. Forber decides to have a run himself. Back to Blakely. Blakely keeps it alive to Watson. Watson lets Naylor take over. No one wants to do the tackling for Wigan. Here's Platt. Platt straight into the chest of Horton and takes the 4th tackle of this attack. Edwards dummy half. Broadbent. Gary Broadbent attacking them now. Radlinski stood up to the challenge well. And Murdoch. Oh, it was Cowie and Murdoch. Beg your pardon. Broadbent didn't like the challenge. Neither did Hume. But Salford get on with it. Watson slides the kick across looking for Rogers. Johnson's there and Johnson just pats the ball dead.
It was a dodgy bounce. And there you can see the coach, Andy Gregory, saying, why on earth didn't they go for the 1 point? At 10 points to 4. 1 point would have given the 7-point margin. It really did pop up for Andy Johnson, who got fingertips to it.
A fumble from Watson from the dropout. It went backwards. Sini picked up the pieces. What a run again from Fatah Sini.
I must say, Eddie, I'm with the coach, Andy Gregory. They really should have gone for the 1.
Well, their confidence is so high. The tails are up for Milo with a beautiful ball to Edwards. And again, they attack this line. Driving run from Eccles. Desperate defence from Gale, Talek and Wigan. Quick play of the ball, and Wigan has stretched out wide here. Forber, poor ball, straight into the arms of Andy Johnson. They had a 3-to-1 overlap on this wing, Salford, and they blew it again.
I can't believe that. Andy Johnson was all on his own.
Here's Radlinski now as Wigan counter-attack.
Good tackle by Fatasini. This is the opportunity. You could see that Robinson had moved out of the position. Poor old Andy Johnson was on his own and finished up with a football. Another try bomb by the Reds.
Well, this is a breathtaking contest at the Willows. Cowie takes it up. Cliff Eccles stands his ground. Referee has seen a little knock-on by Neil Cowie, and Cowie then boots the ball away, and the referee gives the penalty. Neil Cowie, not a happy bunny.
He lost it there, fair and square. Big challenge from Edwards, and that will not help the cause. 10-4 down, having a few words to the referee, Russell Smith. The merry whistleblower says, shut it. Lack of discipline. Well, it was Salford's turn in the first half. Their discipline was poor. They let Wigan off the hook so many times. Now it's turned around.
Well, Andy Farrell, the Wigan captain, had a little word in the ear of Neil Cowie for showing that petulance that produced the penalty for Salford rather than the scrum. That's why they're on the roll again here with Andy Platt. And it's Talek and O'Connor in there. Here now is Watson and Blakely. Forber. Forber out to Broadbent, who's joined the line. McAvoy on a diagonal run. And he lost it. Knock on against Salford this time. Broadbent McAvoy lost it in the tackle.
Another missed chance, but was it taken out? You could see that the hand of Connolly was in there. That should have been a penalty. More than one man disappointed. He's not happy, but he probably couldn't see from that side of the pitch that it was definitely Connolly that got that ball out. Was missed by the referee.
Robinson taking on Broadbent. Broadbent wins that little challenge. Cowie now. They're doing a good job on Cowie. They're doing a good job on this Wigan pack. Cowie's not happy with that.
Well, it's playing into the hands of this Salford 6. They really are working overtime. And they're turning this Wigan outfit into a one-man run.
Smith, ball back on the inside to Farrell. Farrell tackle low down by Forber. 10 minutes, second half gone. Salford just ahead. Cassidy, run from dummy half. Tackled by David Hume. Last one for Wigan. Here's Farrell. Dabs it through, Farrell. He wants Broadbent to run it back at them. This will be the zero tackle.
Got the best kick by the Wigan skipper. Straight down the throat, really, of the fullback Gary Broadbent, who's had a fine game.
Lee Hansen making his debut for Wigan. There he is, number 29. New signing for Wigan. The big Tongan.
What a great game he's having for Milo. Oh, bad mistake by Hume. Went behind him, and look at that, they stood watching.
And Wigan didn't, they have the ball back. Talek will get to his feet. Cassidy to Cowie. Cowie again up the middle.
Pretty close to the forward, that one.
Salford man's down, David Hume. This attack continues with Horton. Nigel Wright has come on for Wigan to add his guile. There he is at dummy half. He finds Tony Smith. Now it's with Farrell. Farrell to Connolly. They've got an overlap out wide. Johnson. Johnson's going for the corner. Rogers, great tackle. Darren Rogers offered Andy Johnson the touchline and bundled him over the whitewash.
Well, any youngster watching, this is our winger. Allows a man to run on the outside. Sizes him up. Beautiful tackle there. It's been a great contest between Rogers and Andy Johnson. Tough times for the Wigan coach, Eric Hughes. He's brought on the skill of Nigel Wright, and they need some to get out of this.
Great tackle from Darren Rogers, his 7th in this match. He makes 9 normally. He's got a long time to reach his average. I fancy he might. Here's Milo, running like a 2-year-old. Let's hear from Mark Lee of Salford, injured out of the side at the moment. He's on touchline with Bill.
Mark, a tremendous start to the second half from the Salford Reds.
Yeah, I think it could have been even better though. We'd have consolidated a little bit more with the ball. We're coughing it up too much before we're reaching our sets of 6, and it's putting the pressure on ourselves. I think, as I say, if we can consolidate, we're in the lead, we don't have to push anything. Just get to our sets of 6 and put them under pressure down there, and maybe we can come away with a win tonight.
The pace is still fantastic. There is, of course, this Dad's Army tag for the Salford pack. Any danger that they might not be able to last the pace?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, Andy Platt's met Terry O'Connor every time he shook the ball up tonight. You know, it's been a fierce contest up there. Dave Hume, he'll work all night for whoever he plays for. Dave Hume will work hard. I don't think there's any question about the fitness of these lads. I think they're fitter than they've ever been in their life.
Well, this crowd behind them.
Yeah, they're certainly getting behind them again. There's a good crowd turning on at Salford these days. So,
well, that was a nasty swinging arm from Paul Forber as Mark Lee was talking, and Andy Farrell furious on the challenge here. Oh, but he's lucky to stay on.
Why on earth do they want to do that? They've kicked the ball deep. The chase is good. So he tries to prove how tough he is to a little fullback, Jason Robinson. You talk about the lack of discipline. Who would be a coach?
Well, who'd be a referee? He had to sort out Andy Farrell, and then he had to sort out the tackler. Randall has come on for Milo, who has had an outstanding match. This is Hansen.
But it's things like that that can turn the game. Salford are in full control. They could have put the pressure, kept Wigan down in their own quarter. Now they're on the rack themselves.
This now is Farrell, and he nearly got through. That was a little ankle tap by Andy Platt. He's still going, Farrell. Rogers is all round him. The tackle is now completed. Cassidy to Hansen. Hansen up the middle. Big Lee Hansen, Tongan international, 28 years old. Smith back on the inside to Farrell. They're loaded up here. That's a great ball. Forward though. Russell Smith was in a great position. Nigel Wright thought he was in for the try.
Beautiful pass, but you could see that the big fella had just overrun it. Farrell got the ball away. Talek did so well. But you could see there that the substitute, Nigel Wright, just had to reach back for it. Bang, and as it hit the ground, it came loose.
I think it was body language, Steve-O, that gave that forward pass decision to Russell Smith. The ball was going backwards.
Looked all right.
It did. Well, they're making changes, Salford. I noticed that Lucchini Savelio is on, not Craig Randall, and I see that they've made another change there. Paul Southern has also come on. So Andy Gregory is really ringing the changes, but he's taken off Faimilo, and I think Andy Platt's gone off as well. He had to spell them, Steve-O, didn't he?
Well, they've worked very, very hard. They really have put their work in today, and it's a good coaching by Andy Gregory. Bring them on, get fresh legs, just settle the ship a little bit. Make sure you play out your full complement of 6.
He won't take Eccles off, though.
Well, he really has been the form, hasn't he? Star player in the forwards for mine.
Great tackle from Cassidy on Forber. There's Cliff Eccles. Always a big game from him. Blakely puts boot to ball into the corner. Picked up there by Darryl Cardis. And Cardis scampering across the face of play, doing well. He was missed first time, but Blakely didn't miss. Cassidy dummy half.
Did well, did the young winger there. But it was a good kick and chase, and that's what's needed from Salford.
Missed tackle count is creeping up on both sides. That ball has come free. Nigel Wright picks it up and finds Smith, and Smith goes off up the middle, watched by Hume, and Hume wrestles Tony Smith to the ground.
Some of these Salford would-be tacklers are falling off the ball carrier. They're making the half break, Wigan.
Steve-O, the pace of this match is unrelenting. Right. Where are they getting the breath from, these players? They are absolute athletes, aren't they, in Super League these days?
They sure are. That's why they're full-time professional. Oh!
The ball went backwards. Johnson picks it up off Tony Smith. Blakely is there, and Johnson was looking for support. There was no one with him.
Here's a big kick, surely. No, they're running the power.
Now the kick from Wright over the top of Sini. Sini caught that ball in the field of play, but he brushes away from the tackle. What a run from Fatasini, and the tackle from Nigel Wright. Well, there's no end to this match. It's just frantic from one end of the field to the other.
It's a beautifully weighted kick there by Nigel Wright, but well picked up by Sini, who's had a fine match as well. So many stars out there tonight. But will they last the pace? Who's got most gas in the tank?
Well, who's got most air in the lungs? I'm breathless just watching it. It never stops. It never ceases to amaze me the way these players can turn it on week by week. And look at the tackles. Wigan 222, Salford 154. You make tackles like that, Steve-O, 2-2-2. It's bound to take its toll, isn't it?
Sure does, and you can see that oh, beautiful play.
Blakely, beautiful stuff, but he lost it then. Referee will bring it back for the knock-on.
No advantage. He tried to give Wigan the advantage, but this man has been everywhere. Unfortunate, it just popped up nicely, but he couldn't hold it in.
Well, Steve Blakely's having a wow of a game against his former club. He played for Wigan once upon a time. Had 8 matches as a substitute for them. But there's nothing substitute about Blakely now, number 6 for Salford. They welcomed him back after missing last weekend. But here's Robinson, a player who can turn a match. Collared though by Naylor. And now then, if you've enjoyed this, don't fail to join us at the Stoop on Sunday for London Broncos against Leeds Rhinos. I'm sure that people in the capital will join a huge influx of Leeds supporters for that match. If this is good, I've got a feeling that that could be even better. And if it is, it'll be going some. Because this is a corker of a game.
Wigan will be better served, though, if they stand back a little bit.
Great kick from Farrell.
They are so flat in attack.
Broadbent has been safe all night. Radlinski, though, collared him. Great tackle.
You can see the fullback, Broadbent, wanting to get on with the football. Good play by Forber, taking the responsibility. He's had a fine match, hasn't he, the fullback?
Well, I tell you what, Steve-O, our viewers will be hard pushed to pick out a man of the match from this, because there are, well, I was going to say 34 candidates, but I've lost out how many have come on off the bench. There's certainly 30 candidates out there, and you can ring in now with your vote for the man of the match. 0891 66 55 25. Our operators are waiting for your call.
Oh, well, silly play again, especially from the captain, Andrew Farrell.
Quick tap penalty, Blakely.
Well, imagine talking back. This is the incident. He got penalised for this, bringing the ball away, and then Farrell had a few words to say to the medic whistleblower.
Touch judges on the far side. David Hume, I think, has copped a short one. And this is going to be a penalty to Salford. Mick Cassidy, I think, has just lost his rag at the wrong time.
Indiscipline again, swinging left arm over the top.
Big ooh and ah, everyone watching the big screen. Oh, over the top.
And then had another go at it. Second time. This is the first. Let me have another. Then he missed. Good job that Hume ducked underneath this one. And then he just ducked underneath again. Uh-oh, there's another. Well, we talk about lack of discipline. First it was Andrew Farrell who got marched 10 metres. He will be fuming. The Wigan camp have every right to be fuming over that. He'll be happy.
I think the instruction has gone out of the bench to Steve Blakely, the captain, to have a shot at goal here at this penalty, because an 8-point lead with a quarter of the game to go looks a little prettier than 6. So Blakely with the penalty, and a vital kick coming up.
Psychological boost if he can get this one.
Crowd wait. Blakely kicks. He's missed it.
At least it's gone dead in goal, so they'll get the ball back.
Yes, drop out on the 20-metre line, but Blakely not kicking with his usual assurance tonight.
That's a huge kick from Farrell.
Deep kick. Rodgers, track back, picked it up, first bounce, takes on Johnson, takes on Connolly. McAvoy dummy half. Up the middle again. Cassidy and Cowie working overtime to bring him down. Edwards, the Kiwi, is the dummy half, the hooker. He finds Cliff Eccles.
Good solid work from the forwards.
Talk about unsung hero, Steve-O. Cliff Eccles.
He's in great form, isn't he?
Paul Southern now. Paul Southern.
They've got to share the work, and that man really has played his heart out tonight.
Does every week. Watson skirts away from Talek. Watson's having a big game too. Edwards in a dummy half. Blakely now. Drop goal from... Oh, I thought he was shaping for a drop goal. Hoists the bomb instead. Robinson comes and claims it. We've had an excellent full-back display at both ends tonight.
He didn't get up too high either, did he? Broadbent, his opposite number, really was flying then. But full credit, though, to Robinson. He came away with the football under a lot of pressure. Well, that's the second occasion that I think Salford have blown their chance of adding that one vital point.
I thought he was shaping them, but then he hoisted the big kick. Connolly! Gary Connolly! Looked around, had to take the tackle from Paul Southern. Academy International prop forward Southern. Bags of young talent here at the Willows. Farrell to Robinson. Scampering, typical run from Robinson. Good tackle though.
Plenty of time for Wigan. They don't have to really force the pace. They can just build up, make sure that they get into the game plan. Don't rush the thing. That's got to be their key.
Murdoch's back. Farrell just dabs the ball over the top. Is Rodgers going to allow it to run dead? No, he isn't, because there's a wall of attackers to meet him. He takes the ball up to them. Cowie is there, so too Talek. That was the zero tackle though. That's Broadbent. Fatassini just looked over the top of the Wigan defence then and noticed that there was no one standing in the sweeper position out on the right-hand side. Robinson standing way back in his own half of the field.
Tony Smith was slow to get back into that position. He's there now. So the option of the chip over the top is no longer there.
Naylor takes the tackle.
But I think Salford would be quite happy just to stick it up the jumper a little bit, force their way through with the forwards.
That's 4 tackles gone. They've made 45 metres progress, Salford. They'll make a bit more now, maybe, with Forber. And Horton unhappy with that challenge. I think he felt that Forber led with the arm. Blakely over the top.
Well, it really is cat and mouse stuff, this, isn't it? Playing out the 6, then the kick,
speed,
and the chase.
Speed from Cardis, but speed also from Peter Edwards. Great chase. Now Robinson again. McAvoy wasn't going to be fooled.
Well, he's the one man that perhaps can bring it off for Wigan. Jason Robinson, he really is a live wire.
Cassidy, Cowie is hauled down by McAvoy. This is Murdoch. Good run from Murdoch. Murdoch has replaced McCassidy, and he's the man going into dummy half, and he's making scoots from dummy half all of a sudden.
Well, we spoke about tiring out the first and second markers, and you've got to do that.
Salford still enjoying the greater possession, though, and enjoying the scoreline of 10-4, but there's a quarter of an hour of this gripping, enthralling contest to go, and it's up for the winning. No doubts about that.
But again, we see Wigan getting the football, standing still. Look at them there. You could throw a towel over the lot of them. They've got to stand deeper. Neat kick from Nigel Wright, it's all on.
Yes, he touched it. Oh, and I don't think Lee Hansen realised that. Nigel Wright's chip over the top was flicked back, and Hansen could have dropped on it. It would have been 6 to go.
Hansen thought he was offside. Was very tentative to go for the football that was at his feet. There it goes. It was Hume that got a touch to it, so all on there.
And there's Paul Southern. He takes the tackle this time from Cowie and Hansen. The runner is Forber, and Forber charges down the middle. Good tackle by Murdoch. Brave tackle from little Craig Murdoch. Here now is Hume. Hume up the middle too.
You know what they're doing now? They're racing towards the sticks.
Yes, they're driving in. And that's going to be a penalty. 2 hanging on to him. Murdoch's got blood coming from his mouth anyway. They didn't get off him.
Wouldn't release him. Hansen low, Cowie involved, Murdoch as well. Referee had shouted, release, release. He's saying that he was held down. Does often happen. Either way, whether he was kidded or not, he's not happy with it, Murdoch.
Well, he's an old campaigner, David Hume, isn't he? I'm not suggesting for 1 minute, Steve-O, he was hanging on to Murdoch's shirt, but maybe.
You're so fair, Eddie. I like that. Maybe.
Well,
what do you think? He's not even touching him.
No, he isn't.
And on the ball. Gee, these replays are great, aren't they?
I tell you what, I bet the referees wish they had them. I bet he wishes he had them too. Poor old Eric Hughes on the right of your screen, the Wigan coach. He's the Wigan coach, Steve-O, has arrived with this club going through, well, we said transition earlier, and I think that's the best word for it, as Blakely adds the penalty this time. 12 points to 4 for Salford Reds. They're on the verge here of defending this wonderful home record, and Andy Gregory knows his club now are inching towards a repeat victory over this Wigan side. Blakely with the penalty, that could be a vital 2 points. And Eric Hughes knows now Wigan have got to score at least a converted try and a little bit more.
Nerves of steel there by that man, the skipper. Steve Blakely, that kick was vital. Listen to the crowd here. Singing, they're all happy. But there's still plenty of time to go.
Well, let's get the Salford view on things. Andy Platt, the Warhorse, is with Bill.
In the Salford dugout with Andy Platt, who's taken a well-earned rest, and those 2 points from Steve Blakely, given the way this game's gone, Andy, could make a big difference, couldn't they?
Yeah, it's a very tight game. You can see it's like a game of chess, really. You know, they have a set of 6 and kick, and then we take a set of 6 out and we kick, so it's very, very tight. So now we've got an 8-point cushion. Just, you know, hopefully that'll be enough to hold us on, but they're looking very dangerous at the moment, and trying to spread the ball a little bit. And Andrew Farrell's going more and more into the game, so we've got to be very, very careful.
He is going to test the defence in these closing minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a very tight game. I think, you know, early on the pace was frantic, and it's going to have to be, you know, a Herculean effort from the boys to keep them out. But you know, we've just got to take a set of 6 at a time, and hopefully, you know, we're good enough.
Well, Eccles going into it. Did he have a hand in it? Perhaps Eccles thought that it was 1-on-1 when he ripped the ball out, and I think he's right. Either way, the penalty's gone towards Wigan. Eccles is fuming with the referee, Russell Smith.
Murdoch dummy half to Cowie. Salford defending this latest attack. 15 penalties. Salford have had 8 to 7. It's with Wright now. Ball back on the inside to Connolly. This is Farrell. Always danger when the big man gets it, Farrell. A colossus for Wigan.
Look for Orton coming on the blind. No, they've gone the other way.
Nigel Wright. And I think Gary Connolly's in trouble as this run from Tony Smith takes Wigan to within inches of the Salford line. Murdoch out wide it goes to Johnson. Johnson for the line. He gets over. Now then, did he bounce? Did he go over? Did he lift the arm? Was it a double movement? The referee, Russell Smith, hands this on to the video referee. It's a big call here for the video ref. Was he grounded? Did he make the double movement?
Ooh. It hit the red line and it didn't hit the white one. On the red line there and then rolled over. Second chance, second bite of the cherry, but was it touched by the fullback Gary Broadbent? If it was, then this is a fair try.
I don't think he forced it, Steve-O.
Well, down it goes. He's short here. Definitely hits it then, okay, and then it hits the boot of Gary Broadbent. Are they going to allow the play on? This is a tough one.
Well, it's a huge call here from the video ref, and are we ready for the decision? We are. Johnson watches, thousands of eyes on the big screen here at the Willows. What's the decision from the video referee? Big call. No try. Andy Gregory, emotionless, but I'm sure his heart was missing a beat. Eric Hughes doesn't look convinced, does he? Russell Smith wisely hands it on.
Well, they've obviously deemed that when he had his ball-carrying arm over, when he hit the ground, that's when the tackle was completed. This is it. He hits the red line, not the white one. They call it the red zone, and you can see that he lost it from there. Had a second go at it. The big problem for the video referee was, did the fullback Broadbent get a foot to it? He did, and then was it forced? But they've said that he must have had the tackle completed, so therefore it would be a second movement.
Yes, double movement was the decision.
That was a tough one, Eddie.
It was, wasn't it? Thank goodness we've got modern technology.
Thank goodness we've got video referees that have nerves of steel.
I was going to say, thank goodness we don't make decisions, Steve-O.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Everyone thinks I do.
We know different.
I'm sick and tired of telling people.
You've never made a decision in your life?
When it comes to buying a drink for you, yeah, you're right.
Watson chips over the top. It's brilliant. It just didn't come in for him. Knock on.
They think he was interfered with. Watson saying.
And he has been interfered with. Russell Smith's given the penalty.
Over the top.
That, I think, was a decision given by the touch judge near side.
You can see Murdoch go for him. He grabs at him and touches him. Well done, the touch judges. Some people think they just stand on the touchline getting cold and waving the flag every now and again. But this could prove 2 vital extra points. Good play, though, by Watson.
Murdoch was snatching at him without the ball. Eric Hughes, the discussion with Ray Unsworth continues. He knows that his side are on the edge of a defeat. It's 5 years since Salford last won a league match here against Wigan. They might have beaten them in the cup last year, but it's 5 long years since they won a league encounter at the Willows against Wigan. And this, I think, if it is a victory tonight, if it becomes victory, will confirm Salford's arrival in the big time. Blakely safe as houses. Salford inching towards a victory. 10 points now is the gap. And less than 10 minutes to go.
Nerves of steel needed yet again. Cowie goes off, Terry O'Connor comes on. The last throw of the dice now by the Wigan coach, Terry Hughes.
Look at the work that Neil Cowie has got through. 27 tackles tonight, average match total 19, and he came on as a sub. A big effort from Cowie.
Tremendous work. He had a point to prove playing against his old adversary, Andy Platt. He really rolled up the sleeves. It was Cowie of old.
Get the phones going for the vote for your man of the match. 0891 66 55 25. There are candidates galore, and Neil Cowie must be one of them. He came on after 23 minutes. He's gone off after 71 minutes, and he's made, what was it, 27 tackles? Fantastic effort.
Been a great effort from this Wigan defence. They really have had to work hard.
It's not over yet, this. It's not over yet.
Just shows you how many times Salford have gone through their complement of 6.
Look at the tackle count for Wigan, 272 tackles. Connolly appears to be okay, but that knee injury that has plagued him all this season is causing him problems. Salford have it back.
Nigel Wright trying to produce the magic that we saw many seasons ago. Been plagued with injury. Nice to see him back, but he didn't come off on that occasion. They're having to take the gamble now, Eddie, the Wigan. They've just got to throw everything at it, try to get this football off them, but it's going to be difficult because Salford will just pile drive them down the middle. Safety first football.
Here's Paul Southern. Listen to the crowd, they're really getting behind the Reds.
Keep your eye out for Ian Watson or Steve Blakely when they get close to these sticks.
Eccles with another great run up the middle, tackled by Farrell. Edwards dummy half, Watson to Forber. They seem to have spurned the opportunity for one. They're looking for more. Watson again, little kick through, collected by Murdoch, but knocked on by Craig Murdoch. Scrum will go down. This will be head and feed to Salford. Gregory knows his men are inching towards victory.
Didn't go for the one. It was another kick through. Great stuff. Peter Edwards on this occasion.
David Hume to Broadbent. Out wide it goes. McAvoy lost it and dropped it under pressure from Connolly. McAvoy thought he'd won the match. Connolly, with a brilliant flick of the hand, knocked it out of his grasp. Now, Wigan counter-attack with Cardis.
He thought it was over, and Connolly yet again. How many times has he done that this season? Takes me back to when they were playing Bradford at Central Park. Whipped the ball away. What final minutes here. The pressure, the tension.
Horton is tackled. Every tackle now, that one was by Naylor, but every tackle that Salford Reds put in, it brings a great cheer, round of applause from this Willows crowd. Now they're defending a run from Robinson. Robinson hurt, but plays the ball right. He's on his own. And they're singing and dancing on the terraces here at the Willows. They think, the Salford fans, that they're on their way to victory. Andy Johnson dabs the ball over the top. Broadbent will let it bounce. Perhaps fatally. No, Broadbent knew what he was doing. Brilliant run from the fullback. He looks a goodbye, Gary Broadbent.
Salford knew they were having problems in the fullback department, but since Broadbent has arrived, he's added a new dimension to this side.
He certainly has.
Well, the 2 losses to St Helens and the London Broncos, a lot of people thought that the Salford Reds, they'd had their go for this season, but they've shown tonight great play from their players. They really have worked hard. A team unit, oh, that's got to be one-on-one, so let's play on. Reef in the bow. Well, he said that interference there after he called to play the football. Yeah, there's 2 men involved, even though Connolly had come away at the last moment. They reefed the ball away from Southern.
So it's a penalty to Salford then. And alongside us is Steve Hampson, the great Wigan fullback of old and the great Salford fullback over the past 2 years. Steve, we've been praising Gary Broadbent. It looks like they have found the problem to your absence.
For sure, Gary Broadbent's had an absolute tremendous game. Very well under the high ball. He's absolutely excellent. Taking the ball away from his own line, as we've just seen then, was fabulous. They've bought an absolutely tremendous kid there from Widnes, and Widnes have lost out on a tremendous player.
Salford on the verge then of victory here at the Willows, something they haven't enjoyed in the league for 5 years, but McAvoy has just dropped the ball and Wigan have got it back.
Took his eyes off the football. Good work by Naylor, bringing the man back on the inside. They do combine well, both Naylor and McAvoy. Has been a problem. Eccles is off. What a great effort he's done. Randall comes on. The crowd give Eccles a well-deserved round of applause.
They should give every one of the... That's great defence from Rodgers. They should give every one of these Salford players a round of applause.
The strength of this man. I mean, it looks like nothing like just a golf club, doesn't he? He's so thin. But look at the strength here. Connolly.
It certainly came off Darren Rodgers there, but that's an accidental touch of the football by Rodgers, so it's Salford's head and feed at the scrum. And I think that's it. I think Salford are going to win this now. 2 minutes to go. And that's actual match time you're watching. Oh, they've given the ball back. What have I said?
Savelio made a big mistake, but Wigan surely have run out of time. They'll try to the end. The defence has just been superb, hasn't it?
From start to finish.
Watson in there, Randall. Look how keen they are. They're moving in. They are on fire, the Reds.
And what of Wigan? We said at the start of the show tonight, was this the night when we'd find out a lot about Wigan and a lot about Salford? The answer is yes, I think, on both counts. This, meanwhile, is Johnson. And Johnson, look at Rodgers again. All over the park, Darren Rodgers. And Rodgers says, I've pinched it, I want it. And the touch just says, get up and stand at the marker position.
Well, he's tried hard, Andy Johnson. But look at the cover defence there. Team effort. They played with a lot of pride of the Salford Reds.
We enter the last minute with a 10-point advantage to Salford. The ball is flicked back to Robinson, and again it's Scott Naylor this time who comes up with the tackle. Murdoch, the dummy half, into the arms of Farrell. Farrell looking out wide for Johnson. It's a high kick, it's a hanging kick. Johnson's there, Rodgers is there again. Rodgers brings the man down. That's the last tackle for Wigan, and we enter the last 30 seconds with Salford in possession.
Well, I think that's the last chance. That was the last throw of the dice for mine for Wigan. But what a great effort by Darren Rodgers in the defensive department. He's stuck to Andy Johnson like a limpet mine, and again we see Connolly reef the ball away one-on-one.
And then put in a brilliant pass to Farrell, who then loops it into the arms of Wright. Out wide it goes to Radlinski, then further out wide to Cardis. Cardis loses his footing and a challenge from Sini. And another chance goes west. But they have a penalty, Wigan. They take it quickly, no messing about. But they're counting down the crowd here, and they're counting down to victory. There's the siren. Andy Gregory has come up with a famous victory for Salford Reds. A great win. Gary Broadbent, Steve Blakely, all contenders for man of the match, I'm sure. 2 tries to 1. The goal kicking from Blakely was so important, and former Wigan great Andy Gregory has plotted his whole team's downfall. Eric Hughes makes his way disconsolately over to the dressing room, but they're celebrating here at Salford. A great win for them by 14 points to 4, and there's the man of the moment, Andy Gregory with Bill.
Andy, your reaction to that victory?
Well, it's nice to get back to winning ways. We've had 2 losses. It's always nice to beat Wigan. I thought the lads showed tremendous commitment. I think their effort, you couldn't fault. Full credit to Wigan. They gave us, it was one hell of a tough game, but like I say, I'm glad to get back to winning ways, and the lads can go and have a couple of pints now, have a weekend off, and look forward to we've no game now for a week or so. So we'll train, we'll prepare for our next game, Leeds here. We know that's going to be a tough one, but we're happy tonight. The lads have put a lot of effort in. We took a bit of stick after the 2 defeats, and I think we're back in second spot. I've got confidence in the players, and if they have a lot of confidence in themselves, who knows what might happen.
Commitment was the key, though, wasn't it?
It was. I think, and I think I've said it on record, Andy Farrell's one of the greatest players in the world, and we've worked hard to contain Andy Farrell, and I think we've done an excellent job tonight.
Congratulations. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks you very much. Thanks.
Well, Andy Gregory, he is one of the most vociferous coaches from the touchline, I can tell you, and he's nearly lost his voice tonight. but look at what a victory over Wigan means to the Salford supporters in Super League. It's a night that they, I think, will always remember, and so will we, because this has been a truly magnificent contest between these two. Salford 14, Wigan 4, and I wonder who your man of the match is. Stay tuned, find out with us when we return.
The bad boys of British boxing are ready to bring the house down.
Believe me.
And in the fight of the night, the one and only Prince Nassim takes on #1 contender Billy Hardy.
I have the power to beat Nassim.
After I knock you out, then you'll see how good I am.
I will dethrone the prince and be crowned King William.
We'll see who's the king of the featherweights.
Get yourself ready for the big upset.
I'm just too good.
I just cannot wait. Billy Hardy, prepare to be judged. Make no mistake, Naz. I'm ready for you.
3 world title fights on one huge night of boxing. The Brit Pack, coming soon to Sky Box Office. Sky subscribers can see the Brit Pack exclusively live by calling the automated ordering number on 0990 800 800. Book early to receive a discount. Cable viewers, contact your local operator.
Well, folks, have we got some weather for you tonight.
Hurricane Bob has done a little U-turn
And is now headed back
directly for the downtown district of Miami. Now, it is gaining speed with winds picking up to about 200 miles an hour.
So you are going to want to get indoors or
Be sucked into oblivion.
don't even think about making that journey. Y'all have a safe
And pleasant evening.
Wow thing! Yeah! You make my heart sing!
Get down to the MFI sale for up to 50% off kitchen cabinets. Great discounts on 40 superb styles. This 8-unit kitchen, complete with oven, hob, extractor, sink taps, worktops, and a washing machine, is under £700. See all this and more in the sale on now at MFI and MFI Homeworks.
To relax, call 0990 200 200.
Here we are in this bustling neon metropolis, Hong Kong. I've had a fantastic morning with Captain Ping and his crew, so now I'm cooking lunch. Bit of a risk, but you can't go wrong with Uncle Ben's. Stir-fried prawns in sweet and sour sauce. What's the verdict, Captain Ping?
Very good. Subtle flavours full of mystery.
Uncle Ben's sauces, perfect every time.
It's going down a treat.
Only one hover mower squeezes this much grass into this much space for even fewer emptyings.
Prince Nassim Hamid, the prince who is king. He's undisputed, undeniable, unbeatable. Outside the ring, he's even more explosive. Experience the personality and the power. Meet the real Nassim Hamid, the prince who is king. Right now on video.
The difference was the patent. Bell beat Gray by 4 hours, so Bell is famous, Gray is forgotten. If you have an invention, call 0800-1234-11 for your free inventor's kit. That's 0800-1234-11 and patent it before someone else does. Be famous like Alexander Graham Bell, not forgotten like Elisha Gray.
Bums. Weirdos. What does she want to go to New York for?
Furthest Mum's ever been is New Malden.
She doesn't even like lights.
I think I'm really lost. Is that it up there? I think it's up there.
Take the 5th Avenue bus.
Of course, quite a stir down the club.
It's her money. She can do what she likes with it.
Good looking out, baby. I feel better already. Your city's turned me into a shopaholic. I got the flavour.
I love New York. I'll give you all of New York.
Taxi!
Have a nice day now.
Whatever you've set your heart on, make sure you've got MasterCard in your corner.
Wow, what a game at the Willows, and Salford have won by 14 points to 4. A famous victory over the Wigan Warriors, their first in the league for 5 years here at home. Rogers and Watson with the tries, Steve Blakely with 3 crucial kicks, Darryl Cardis the only time that the Wigan Warriors got across the line. Now then, who's the man of the match? Your view. Familo, 9% of the votes. Broadbent, 15%. Blakely, 52%. And everybody else picked up 24%. So, Steve Blakely, the Salford skipper, is man of the match against his former club, and he's talking now to Bill Arthur.
Steve Blakely, man of the match, your video, Steve, and your miniature television. You get the man of the match award, but it was a real all-round Salford race performance, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good performance from the boys. It was tough out there tonight. Wigan came here with a point to prove, I think, and they played well, but I think we just had a bit more enthusiasm at the end of the game there. It was a tough game.
Commitment, very much the key, wasn't it? I mean, you really met them head to head from the word go.
Yeah, we're a very committed side here at Salford. You know, we put 100% in. Every player does that, and it's pleasing to get a victory tonight, especially after like 2 losses last week. It's nice to be back to winning ways.
No real stars in the side, you know, compared to a lineup like Wigan's, but what you lack in stars, you make up for with that commitment, don't you?
Yeah, maybe so. But I think there's 1 or 2 good players on our side as well. But we are a thoroughly committed side, and we give our all again tonight.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Well done.
Cheers, Bill. Thanks.
They did give their all, and the man who has won the Mini TV as the viewers' man of the match competition winner is Andy Tutty of Widnes. Well done, Andy. That prize is on its way to you. Would have thought maybe you would have voted for your old fullback, Gary Broadbent, because he had a magnificent match. But Steve Blakely picks up the viewers' man of the match award here on Sky Sports tonight. Quite rightly so. Steve Hampson, Wigan, Salford, Great Britain. I mean, you could have picked any one of every player on the field had a magnificent night.
Absolutely tremendous game. Like you say, 1 to 17, any one of them could have been man of the match. Tremendous performance all round. I thought the first half the forwards took it to Wigan and really gave them a good bashing. The second half the backs got involved, but for me, the Broadbent guy, what a tremendous player that young lad is. Andy Gregory's done a good job on signing a good fullback, and I'm sure he's going to be a star for the future.
Well, he looks it, doesn't he? He's an academy international. He played with such composure, assurance. Having a recognised fullback there, and we take nothing away from Darren Rogers for the fact that he filled in the early part of this season, but having a recognised fullback there gives the defence so much more composure.
That's right. I mean, when you know you've got a decent fullback behind you, your confidence is high all the time. You see a ball go back, you know that your fullback's going to be there or thereabouts. And especially when the bomb goes up, I mean, this kid he's second to none. He's a tremendous taker of a high ball, and that really does boost the confidence of the players in front of him.
But you can probably hear the row that's going on outside because they are still celebrating here, and it's 5 years since their last home league win against Wigan, and that's what it means to the youngsters of Salford. They're all dancing away, and Steve-O, no wonder, because fabulous match, fabulous result.
They've every right to. It was a tremendous performance by Salford, and as you mentioned, Blakely, a great game. But I thought the combination of Blakely and Watson was absolutely superb, and it was their combination that really broke the back of Wigan early in the second half. It was a kick through, a little bit dubious there, right over the top. A lot of people thought perhaps he was offside. Naylor then kicks it through, and Watson there to pick it up. But you can see that the referee, Smith, is in an absolutely tremendous position. Absolutely wonderful. But this was a no try by Johnson when it looked as perhaps Wigan were forcing their way back. This was a tough one for the video referee. You see the ball is now grounded on the red, not on the whitewash. Look at that double movement. That really was a close thing at a time when Wigan really came to it. And then, of course, it was a situation where Wigan just lost the plot a little bit. Indiscipline, kick over the top by Watson, and you can see Murdoch well and truly grabbed hold of the shirt. Well spotted by the touch judge, and from that incident it was a case of Blakely kicking a vital 2 points. It was a great performance. We said before the game that if the Salford forwards worked hard as a unit, you refer to them as a dad's army. Well, I don't mind being in the dad's army because they really did play very well, that Salford 6. It was a great match, and I would love to see it all over again. You talk about pride and passion. It was all on display tonight.
Well, you can watch it later on if you want to see it again, Steve-O, here on Sky Sports. Let's take a look at how the table has shaped up tonight. And Salford Reds are right back in it, aren't they? They're in third place. Amazing, though, they're on a -6, plus or minus in the points difference. And look what's ahead of them. St Helens 124 plus. Bradford Bulls 99 plus. Salford, though, are picking up wins. They're picking off the opposition, and they're now third in the table, having played a game more than the clubs around them. Wigan are stuck in 7th. One or two contentious issues, Steve, in the match that we've seen. The double movement. If you were a Wigan player now, would you be annoyed with the video referee? If you're Salford, you say, well, let's go and buy him a drink.
No, the video ref's right in what he saw. I mean, Andy Johnson did go over with a double movement. There's one or two things with Gary Connolly hitting the ground with his elbow and then throwing the ball back. I mean, these are all part of rugby league. I mean, the referee can't see everything. You've got to give the guy credit. Yeah, he's not... how can I say? They just cannot see everything. It's just impossible. But they've done a tremendous job, and I reckon he's had a good game today, the ref.
He did, and the video ref came up with the right decision at the end, according to the two boys here. OK, what have we got coming up for you? Well, if you think that this was good, stand by for something even better on Sunday at 6:30. It's London Broncos against Leeds at the Stoop. 6:35 the kick-off time. Join us. We'll offer you the next best seat in the house. Believe me, though, there's nothing like being there. And be with us on Thursday at 1 on Sky Sports 3 for the World of Super League. And if you want to, escape the general election with us with the repeat on Sky Sports 1 at 11 o'clock that night. And don't forget that a week Saturday we have the Challenge Cup for you. Bradford Bulls against St Helens. We'll have highlights of the big day on Saturday evening. And then we're back at Wigan against London. What a match that will be. Friday the 9th of May at 7. And look at the weekend we've got lined up for you. The repeat of the Challenge Cup final. Bradford Saints on Sunday the 11th of May. Fantastic fair ahead in May. Thanks to Steve. Thank you for being with us. Bye-bye.
From Sky in May, a battle for survival.
Incoming torpedo!
Denzel Washington, Gene Hackman, Crimson Tide.
They stole her identity.
Give us the disc and we'll give you your life back.
A Sandra Bullock double bill, The Net.
And with Bill Pullman.
Believe in love at first sight?
In While You Were Sleeping.
Kathy Bates. And Jennifer Jason Leigh into Laura's Claiborne.
I cheated on my husband. I didn't know I could be arrested. I know too much.
Linda Fiorentino is Jade.
That's May on Sky.
When you get acid indigestion or heartburn, Rennie works fast. In fact, more people in Britain take Rennie than any other indigestion remedy. Fast, effective Rennie for on-the-spot relief.
BT have doubled the number of people you can choose to be in your friends and family circle. So now you could make twice the savings. If you still haven't joined, you must be either fantastically wealthy, slightly bonkers, terribly lazy, or from another planet. If you are none of the above and you'd like to save 10% on your favourite 10 numbers, call 0800 05 55 55 now.
The Sky Sports Centre here at 10 tonight, followed by Hold the Back Page at 11. But first, David Bobin presents the Rugby Club.
This is Sky Sports 1.
Sky's premier sports coverage is presented in association with Ford. Sky Sports presents Ford Maverick Rugby Union. The best in the field.
Almost there. The champagne's on ice. Wasps are ready to be crowned Courage League champions. Sale keep alive their European ambitions as the luck of the Irish runs out at Haywood Road. And pleased to meet you, French international Philippe Saint-André joins Gloucester, the club shaking off its insular image. Hello there, welcome to the Rugby Club. Well, the destiny of the Courage League title could be decided this Saturday, and Wasps are all set to win it. Jamie Salmon and Stuart Barnes are here to tell us if they can do it and discuss the other topics of the week. Well, the task for Wasps this weekend is really quite straightforward. With 2 matches left, a win or even a draw at Northampton will be enough to win the championship. Even if Wasps lose, they could still take the title on Saturday should Sale win at Bath. The West Country club are now Wasps' only challengers. So the only place to be on Saturday is Franklin's Gardens as we bring you Northampton against Wasps. That's exclusively live at 2 o'clock on Sky Sports 1. So will Wasps be singing songs of celebrations? Graham Simmons now reports.
Choir practice last Sunday for the Wasps team, apparently the traditional victory sing-song. And if they're singing it again, come 4 o'clock this Saturday afternoon, they'll be Courage League champions for 1997.
It would mean a great deal to the boys. We've worked extremely hard this year, and if we didn't win now, if we got to this situation, then I think there'd be 15, 25 desperately disappointed people.
Well, no disappointments last Sunday as Sale were brushed aside. Shane Royzier grabbing 1 of 4 tries as Sale were pressurised into some very uncharacteristic errors. The defence, as it has been all season, was the key for Wasps, suffocating Sale at every turn, frustrating them, banging in the tackles, driving them back. Sale scarcely got off the back foot all afternoon.
Yeah, the defence has been one of the strongest points all season. I think we made nearly 130 tackles today. And the important thing is when you defend, you don't give penalties away. You know, you knock your man down, but then you get up, and instead of trying to get your hands on the ball, you just go and make another tackle.
If teams aren't going forward and they're not getting the penalties, they start to get frustrated and the ball will go down, etc. And we've been getting a few turnovers and working off that. Sides get just terribly frustrated when they can't break down a defence, and we've been working hard on making a solid black wall that teams just can't get through this season.
Well, it's 7 years now since Wasps' last and only Courage League title win. Can't quite remember the name of the guy who actually collected the trophy. But standing alongside him on the balcony that day, drinking in the applause, was the one man who's still with the club today.
I think I've actually got a picture of that actually on the wall at home. If it's the one I'm thinking about, it's with me, Rob Lazowski, or the dog, and Steve Pilgrim, actually with the cup of loof. So, yeah, it really was a good feeling.
Well, appropriately enough for a man who's taken a shoeing or two in the line of duty, Buster White works for Nike. Not bad being on the same payroll as Tiger Woods, even if you don't quite pick up the same cheque at the end of the week. But 7 years on, how do the Wasps of 1990 compare with the Wasps of 97.
I think we're more talented all round this year. OK, you mentioned the names like Rob Andrew, Mark Bailey. One thing we've always had since I've been at the club, going back then and now, is we got great team spirit. Everyone that's come to Wasps over the years have wanted to play for Wasps, and that hasn't changed.
Well, if anyone symbolises the team ethos here at Wasps, it's Buster White, a loyal club man for 12 years, who's now playing as well as at any time in his career. But the more recent arrivals have been crucial too, not least Gareth Rees at full-back, and out on the wing, Kenny Logan, who, having won a Scottish League title last year with Stirling County, now has a shot at a rare double.
We had a good team spirit when we won the league back on Scotland, and that's what it shows today. Team spirit, they work for each other, work hard for each other. Everybody gets on, you know, it's a good sort of family, good team spirit.
Well, allied to that team spirit, leadership has been the other key factor. Lawrence Dallaglio providing a hugely forceful presence on the pitch, with Nigel Melville and Rob Smith providing some astute management off it.
Oh, very good, yeah. And Rob is a very good coach, very direct, and you know exactly what he wants from the game. And I've been sort of, my eyes have opened really. It's a sort of preparation that I'd only expect to get from international games. But obviously now the game's professional, and Rob's sort of direction and Nigel's direction of team meetings and the preparation for each game is very thorough, and leaves under no illusions what the task is for each individual side we play against.
We've sucked it in, kept it very tight, very quiet. We haven't gone out, we haven't made a lot of noise, we haven't made huge signings, Wenger obviously as an exception. But when we have made signings, we've brought them in and they've added to the team philosophy. We've worked the whole season, every day we've been together. There hasn't been a single argument that I know of. And everyone has worked together for a common goal.
Well, what Wasps have done this season has been a lesson to almost every other club in the league, adopting a professional attitude to the professional era without losing that most amateur of attributes, a team that want to do it for each other. And that's a formula Wasps aren't about to tinker with when it comes to next season.
Yeah, I'm reluctant to authorise spending a lot of money on bringing in one or two particular players, but may sort of throw the thing out of joint a little bit. So the rumours about us bringing in one or two of the very top French players at this point in time, they're not founded, and that's the reason for it.
The Wasps bade a fond farewell to their home supporters last Sunday, knowing that just a draw at either Northampton this weekend or at Harlequins next weekend will land them the title. They are close enough to be able to smell it, but even so, no one is getting too intoxicated just yet.
We've got to win at Northampton first, and we're going to leave the ideas, the celebration, etc., out of the window and concentrate solely on Northampton. They're a very tough side. They've got 5-6 lions, and they've an excellent home record. So we've got to go up there and concentrate extremely hard on making sure we take 2 points from that game.
Well, the bubbly is all ready. The question is, will it be uncorked this weekend? What do you reckon, Jamie?
No question. I'm sure it will be uncorked. I'm sure Chris Wright saying there that they're going to save a few bob on the French players. He can afford a few crates of champagne, and they'll deserve crates of champagne because they have been, as I say, nobody's favourites all season, and they're still there. I think it's 5 points clear. They've only lost 3 all season, and I think they'll do it tomorrow, and they'll have a noisy journey back down the M1 with the cup firmly on board.
Stuart, I think it's fair to say many people have said they've really combined the best elements of rugby, the new professionalism, but they've allied it well with the old tradition.
Yeah, they might be drinking champagne tomorrow, but they haven't played champagne rugby. It's been about team spirit, very English attributes, and they've had great work, great work ethic. Sorry, we saw that in the changing room there, when the players really are up for it together. They're so tight, and Dallaglio's given them a great lead. They've worked so hard on this spirit factor, and that and their defence have been crucial factors. And of course, we just heard Nick Greenstock say, only one lion for Wasps, Northampton. He didn't know whether it was 5, 6 or 7. No. And they'll be building up and say Ian McGee has picked 10 by the time they get to that game come Saturday afternoon. But Wasps have used this factor about sort of being the underrated team with underrated players, rather like Sale, and it's worked.
Nigel Melville and his team really deserve credit, don't they, Jamie? Because the signings have been pretty astute.
Yeah, they have. I mean, he obviously has known where he's needed to bolster the squad, and it's very much a squad situation now. It's not 15 guys. I suppose some might say they've been somewhat fortunate with injuries. They haven't had that many key players missing over the course of the year. But he's kept everybody interested. He's obviously signed the likes of Logan for one. I mean, Twiggy Marler was, I don't know, a couple of months or something that he played for them.
Yeah.
But you got Andy Reid, Damien Cronin came into the engine room, Mitchell came in at hooker, Sheesby came in at 8. So it's been very specific, their their recruitment. And of course, old Gareth Rees at fullback has very much been the senior pro. And you've got, you know, Royzer, who's been around a couple of years, but probably still needs guidance at the back, and he's directed them, I think, really well. And certainly the other thing is, you know, with the style they play, the one thing you can't do is have a non-goal kicker. And Reese's kicked like a dream this year. He really has kicked his goals.
Let's not forget Northampton, because of course they could still be difficult opposition. But overall, Stuart, I think they'll feel they've underachieved really this time round.
I'd say Northampton are the most disappointing team this season. We've heard teams say in the professional age they bought players and it's taken a time to mould a team. Well, let's remember, Ian McGeechan now has been moulding this team for 3 years. He thinks 5 of them are good enough to be British Lions, yet there they are, one of the only teams in England, along with Gloucester, who've got nothing to play for. They can't get into Europe, they're not going to go down. But really, with all that ability, it has been a disappointing season for them, and I think their fans will be demanding a big end to the season starting tomorrow against Wasps.
Jamie, that's how you see it. Final word from you on Northampton and this fixture.
I think they have a responsibility. We're in a professional age, they have a responsibility to go out and play 18 minutes full of desire and passion and hunger. Now, I know it doesn't mean too much to them, but they have a responsibility to their club members, their supporters, to do that. Their home record is great, only lost to Harlequins all year. They're up there, beaten Bath and Leicester, and they can produce it. It's just a question of, you know, which month they're going to produce it in.
Thanks very much indeed. Well, after the break, Gloucester's Director of Rugby, Richard Hill, talks about the club's historic new signing, the French international Philippe Saint-André. And Sale keep the push on for a place in the European Cup with an easy win over London Irish.
For some men, actions speak louder than words.
It's super fast, it's super tough, and it's super lean. Big hit, great atmosphere. Beautiful ball. Heavy traffic. Stepping through the challenges. Oh, this kid's electric. Robbie Paul. He's burst the tackles.
You're kidding.
Deary me. Sidesteps round ball. Great players.
Live and exclusive. Weekend Super League. London versus Leeds. Sunday at 6:30.